am Maya Green, and I live in Somerville, South Carolina, and I want to share a story that still makes me smile even years later. Back in 2015, I was working as a manufacturing engineer for a fishing company. I had been there almost 5 years and spent most of my time working on new packaging lines and trying to improve things. When the process engineer quit, I took on that job too because I wanted to prove myself. I worked 16-hour days mostly, often on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I believed that if I worked hard enough, I could move up in the company and finally get recognized for my efforts. But there was this one guy, our manager, who didn't like me at all. He would try to make me look bad in front of other departments, criticize my ideas, then give those ideas to others to do. Everyone was worried about how much I was working and how exhausted I looked, especially because I was drinking 2 or 3 monsters every day just to keep going. But the manager, he only wanted more. He never appreciated what I was doing. Then the first of the month arrived, and I came into work ready to tear down a packaging line, which is part of my job. I was wrenching away, focused, when I started hearing people being called into HR. I thought, what's going on? I quickly went to talk to my closest work friends, and they seemed just as confused as I was. As I walked back to my cubicle, I saw one of the women from accounting crying, carrying her things out while being escorted by HR. I remember hearing her name called and feeling my stomach drop. Then, around 8:30 in the morning, I heard my name being called. I froze. My heart sank. I knew what was coming. I went into HR, and I got the position elimination speech. I was told I had no job, no insurance, and 4 months' pay. I couldn't believe it. I had worked so hard, got no bad reviews, no warnings, nothing to justify this. But my manager, he had to pick one person from his department, and guess what? He chose me. I was escorted back to my desk, tears streaming down my face as I watched my packaging coworker shout, "This is BS." I wanted to say something to fight back, but he just made his second in command walk me out without even giving me a chance to speak. And the worst part, my birthday, was the next day. All day, I heard more people from different departments, and even some managers got laid off, especially women, including a couple of my close friends. Turns out, the entire company was being sold, and we were the fall guys for making the books look good. I still couldn't understand why I was the one they picked, especially when there was this guy who was 1 year from retirement, who told me openly he just wanted to leave, or another guy on a performance plan who asked for help and knew he was probably going to be shown the door soon. I was shattered, lost, devastated, wondering how I had been so unfairly targeted. I took 1 day to grieve, drank a little with my best friends on my birthday, then started looking for a new job. 1 month later, I found a place I absolutely loved. I threw myself into it and started building a new life. But I didn't forget about my old boss. About 6 months after I started my new job, the plant director called me into his office. His office was only about 15 feet from my cubicle, so I thought it was just another chat. I walked in with a smile and said, "What's up?" He looked at me and said, I have a resume here for the plant manager position. Did you used to work at that fishing place? I nodded and said I did. He then asked, did you work with douchehead manager? I smiled bitterly and said, yeah, he was my boss. He looked interested. I could see him searching for a story. Then he asked, how was he to work for? I paused, then smiled and said, he was an okay person, but I think he would be a really great bus driver. His eyes twinkled as he picked up the resume. I watched him closely, and then he looked at me with a smile. Without hesitation, he ripped the paper in half and threw it into the trash. I stood there, stunned. I could not believe what I was seeing. The message was clear. He saw through the nonsense at a glance. And that was it. That was my petty revenge. Douchehead manager had been out of work ever since that day, and I never had to lift a finger. I never had to confront him, yell at him, or even tell him how much I hated what he did to me. Seeing him gone, knowing I had completely unspokenly singed him one last time, was enough for me. Sometimes, the best revenge is just showing you see through the lies and the games. That day, I realized that being true to myself, moving on, and letting karma do its job can be more powerful than any retaliation. Now, I live my life happily, and I know we all get what we deserve in the end.